Welcome back, everybody, to Hector's Hard Mode. We have reached the split level, I guess, the Lloyd Linus level. Much like when we played the other Hector mode, I did level up. I think in this case, it's due to your lords, so my lords are combined above a certain level. I mean, Ellawood, Hector are both at 20, Lynn's at like 17-ish, so I'm pretty sure that more than qualifies me for this level. The next gap is going to be between whether we go to the assassin level when we get to the Four Fangs hideout, or if we get the mage one. That's dependent on the combined amount of physical users, i.e. mercenaries, warriors, Myrmidons versus your magic users, you know, a healer, you know, I think there's 5 healers, 5 magic users up to this point in the game. Obviously I don't have Pent, I don't have Athos, I don't have whatever the bishop's name is at the next to last level, but I have all the other mage users. The only one I've really, well, there's a couple I've trained actually. You have, of course, Sarah from the first half, she got trained. Erk's obviously classed up at this point. Lucius, I didn't touch. Still got leveled up, obviously. Haven't touched Canis either. So I'm thinking there's probably more levels into my into Dorcas and Guy, and then there is for the other mage units, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna have to double check that. Either way, we're trying to get, what we're trying to do is, I know it's not this level, but it's the level after, well, it's 2 episodes from now, I guess, 2 more levels. That's when I think we'll know, or maybe not. Yeah, that should be when we know, I'm thinking. Because I think you go to the Four Fangs Fortress first, then you go back to Burn to save Effadel, and then from Effadel, you know, you get, I can't remember her name now. Great. Whatever, Sonya, I think her name is. And sort of a side note, I've been sleeping like crap lately. Am I sleeping? Yes. Am I sleeping soundly? Kinda. But when like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning rolls over, it's still dark outside, I look out my window and go, alright now, buddy, we gotta go back to bed. We've only been asleep for about 6 hours at this point. You gotta get 2 more hours of rest here. Like, nah, get up and play and do some shit, eat breakfast, make cereal. Like, I am not ready for this kind of responsibility this early in the morning. And he laughed, and then it was like, okay. Well, I laughed, I should say. The plan here is we're gonna send Sane and the warrior we're about to pick up here in about a minute or 2. We're going to send them to the right to get the one house that happens to be farthest away from me in the south, I guess. Farthest away from me would probably be diagonal, but you get what I'm saying. And then we're going to send the rest of the army up into this cluster of an area. I hope that between A, good planning, and B, some sharpness, hopefully there will not be any major mistakes that's going to cost me having to having to redo this level. Not terrible, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, stop borrowing shit from other games. Stop borrowing like gimmicks from other games. Like, why do we like Bayonetta? Because it's Bayonetta. Well, I think you like Bayonetta because she's all sexy dressed up with her high heels and big swords. Part of the appeal, I'm not gonna lie. That's not the only reason you buy a game. You buy a game because it has good graphics, it has good storytelling, it has good gameplay. And you could have, an ugly looking adult face, so long as, you've got, I don't know where I was going with this. I had a point, and then my mind just sort of went off tracks. Anyways, I'm very sleepy right now. I got probably a good solid. I want to say like 6 hours, but even then I was still rolling over a whole bunch. I was like dead asleep from like when I fell asleep around 11 till about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to get up and go to the bathroom. I laid down, and then an hour later I had to get up and go again, which is like, you either need to drink more water or you drink less water. More water, to obviously flush out the poisons in your body, keep your kidneys and liver healthy, because they're getting a constant supply of, not just food and oxygen, but also water, which is important for their survival. Trying to think here. Ooh. Rough, man. I tell you what, that was rough. What else? Or I'm gonna have to go out and get, or I'll have to get rid of these, some of these books. I mean, I can look through my library right now and easily pick out probably at least 1/10 of the books that I have over there, depending on what I choose to keep and what I choose to let go. Kind of got a number of strategy books like chess, Go, Shogi. I'm not sure if anyone would be interested in those per se. Plus I need to read at least 2 or 3 or more of those to be complete. I've gone completely through them, that is. And then I've got other stuff that I could sell without, feeling like, oh, I'm having buyer's remorse. But I don't know, I like to keep my books for the most part, even if most of them are not worth keeping, and by that I mean most of these books I have are what they call softback or softcover books, which is not the ideal method to collect because a lot of them have cheap printer paper in them, depending on who, what, where, how they were made. But they have a cheaper printer paper they use that if you leave it out or in a somewhat moist environment, it will quickly become yellow. Not moldy per se, but just yellow. Alright, so we officially recruited Heath. I think that's his name. I'm gonna compare him to where Dorcas is right now. Try to figure out, well, like if he comes in level 3, Gates comes in level 3, maybe I, instead of comparing apples to slightly smaller apples, maybe I try to give him Dorcas the benefit of the doubt. If he gets like 2 or 3 really good level ups, will he hit Jerry's level? Oh boy, I'm on a completely different topic. Will they hit the level that that Dorcas is at? I mean, will he exceed Geitz's level? Will he still kind of do his BS thing where it's like, oh hey, I'm gonna get this done, and then they don't get it done ultimately. So, again, we're going to push up north with this group here that's right next to us. We're going to attempt to keep Ninian out of the way. She is often very... You need her to obviously give a character a second dance, but that also means you're standing next to a character. So if you leave a gap or a hole in your line, 11 riders are going to sneak in and probably kill her. Now she's got good, as I've said before, she's got really great evasion. So there's a good chance that she could take, she would evade a number of hits or at least be able to take one hit. I think because of how high her speed is, I don't think too many people, other than if she was lower level, obviously, would be able to hit her. You either have to have like endgame boss weapons, which are basically good against the whole cast. It doesn't have to be your dancer, but like, I don't know. It's a bit of a risk every time she gets hit because there's a good chance that they could do, 26 damage in one hit or something similar to that. Like I said, don't expect a refund on your Social Security for next year or whatever. Yeah. That's why you get disclosure finance stuff whether you like it or not. There's otherwise the bank goes like this. They're laundering money! Shut them down! And everyone's mad because they don't have jobs anymore because the US government came in with their Department of Treasury and shut your bank down for either giving out bad loans, not being able to keep up with deposits, poor service in general. It's very hard. I'm not gonna say I shouldn't say it's very hard to do. I don't actually know how hard it is to be audited, but I do know that based on where I work, the ladies upstairs make sure to keep our records up to date in case for some reason we have a surprise, not that this ever happened to us, but like a surprise visit from OSHA or something to that extent where ultimately they're going to pick around to try to find the right thing that fits perfectly for them. And it doesn't always work that way, Alright. Biggest hurdles here is for the rest of this level is going to be obviously there are 3 heroes up in the corner by Linus, I guess is his name, or Lloyd. One I can't remember what brothers' names off my head. I know they're like twin brothers. They both start with an L name in their name. One's older and bigger and brawnier, and the other one's, I presume, smarter and more nimble. But they make a good team between the two of them. So speaking of tired, I had a coworker tell me recently, I hope haven't mentioned this yet, but he mentioned that because he's got ADD, apparently, I don't know why this would be true, but I'll believe him at least face value, what he's telling me. But he was telling me that people who are diagnosed or have ADD, regardless of if it's like obsessive compulsive, or it has something to do with some medicine you're taking or what, but caffeine can work the opposite for people who have ADD. So, you know, when I have a cup of coffee in the morning, either before I go to work or once I get to work, I usually drink the coffee and, you know, I'm not going to say I feel better. I feel, when I wake up, I feel awake. I don't feel like groggy or sleepy or give me half an hour to wake up sort of thing. But on the tail end of that, I have started noticing after he mentioned that to me that I have been feeling a little, dozy. I don't know. I'm just sitting there at my desk, I'm trying to do my work, I'm reading it, and I'm like so bored that my head starts to drift down, and then I do a jerk back. Because it's like, holy cow, don't fall asleep, Chris. You know, obvious, you know, multiple reasons why you don't want to fall asleep. Hey, you don't want to be known as that kid who fell asleep at work. Or your name will be like Mud at that point. You might as well just retire from life. But he was telling me, like I said, that caffeine with people who have ADD or ADHD can do the opposite, make them tired or sleepy. And I've never heard of that before. And he's like, well, yeah, it's just a normal thing. And I'm like, I don't know if I have ADD or not, but I'm certainly feeling tired in the morning, and I am having coffee in the morning as well. I'm unsure if maybe the medicine's to be blamed, I need to go on a lower dosage, or perhaps I'm getting worse and I need a higher dosage, or even to switch their brand names, you know. Not sure. Think worst level up ever. There's another story, I guess, for you guys while we're waiting. Me and my mother had gone down to Colombia to visit my brother Steven, and his wife, and my niece / grandmother. First time I got to see Ellie was like, oh, hi Ellie, like, and she's like, hey, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know. My name's not Ellie either. I know it's not Eloise. Anyways, so kind of freaked her out at first because she was really shy, and she was like, I don't know these people, Dad. I'm like, I wouldn't expect you to. Even if you saw me on the Skype call yesterday and I said, hi Eloise, it's Chris, I'm coming to see you. I just don't think she'd be like, who are these people? I don't know them. I don't remember them. I don't understand why throwing garbage away on the way home in a trash can is different than throwing the trash bag or trash in either our trash bin or Alright, we're gonna stock up on some iron weapons even if we don't need them. Just because I don't need to run out and I have plenty of money to still use. Mission should also give us some funding as well, I think. And once we have that funding, we should be... Right as rain? Question mark? Alright. Do you get money if you finish in like second place, like $10, something stupid? Airfare, trade back. Okay. You know, something different than... Cadillac and dinosaurs. So eventually these guys are gonna, the Dragon Knights particularly, are gonna stop spawning in. And we'll be able to just clean up the rest of the board and then take out Linus. I'm going to try something here a little different. Because I've gotten to this point before, and something usually happens where I've got or customers or timetable out of whack. Like, you know, hey Chris, can we go in the afternoon to pick up this table? Sure. 3 o'clock rolls around. Hey Chris, you ready to go? It's like, fucking 3 o'clock, dude. You had a 3-hour window. It shows none of those hours. I didn't know. I thought you might be open today. I'm like, not today, buddy, unfortunately. I mean, I could take you most places, most days, and I don't make a complaint about it, but This is one. So my coworker, his first apartment signed today. It was today's date, the 10th. Sorry, not 10th. Where did I find that information? I'm getting a little confused now. It used to be really easy. Oh, sorry. 4/12. Okay, I'm looking in the completely wrong area for it. So you can see this mission is very straightforward. If you wanted to, you could technically rush straight towards the boss. It's not advisable because A, I want the experience, even if it's just a tiny experience, and two, in order to cash that kind of check, it'd have to be like promised note or whatever. Because if I owe you, $100, I could probably go get $100 out of the bank. If I need to write you a check for a few thousand, the bank's gonna ask questions as to why I need several thousands of dollars out of my account. That's usually where you go to the bank and you get a whatever certified or banker's check. So. Alright. So I've got Dragonite, Dragonite, Dragonite. The one nice thing about Merlin is you manage to level him up 20 times. He goes into his cart mode, which allows you to pull his supply chain along with you. Which is odd because in a lot of cases I won't use Merlinus because I don't plan to buy anything. It sort of seems to be a waste of space. I can tell some of these later episodes are going to start being split in half. I think the last episode I tried my hardest to make it as quick as possible. Still took an hour and a half to get done. Hooray, everyone's still alive right now. Keep watching. I probably mentioned this last episode, but I feel like the previous two levels were much harder than this one. The magic seal being difficult because there's a bunch of mages. Excuse me. Classed up mages that you have to deal with as well as a classed up general. This one, we're only dealing with, say, half a hand, one handful of classed up units in this area. Everything else is either an archer or a magician, and I understand the concept of magician, where they can attack from either one space where they're directly next to you and hit back, or you can do, you know, I don't know how you do it, but I'm sure there's a way to hook up a second controller and play as like a Dark Link. Do a rush, launch you in front and hear you. I love the fact that Hawkeye can do that. I think some of my other characters might be able to walk out into the ocean like this, but I'm not 100% sure either. I know horse units, well, I don't know about horse units either, but I know for a fact that, you know, obviously pirates, I'm sure brigands, and berserkers have that ability to walk on water, which kind of nice, but I've never actually seen it used in a Fire Emblem game that I've ever played. You know, where they give you a character, whether it's a character that you're designed to have, you know, starting in that level, or you're given like a temporary, like green unit character, and his or her only job is to basically walk on water from one island to another, because no other character other than a flying unit can do it. So I thought that would be a nifty idea for like a level. I know the gimmick would be kind of annoying, and you would have to sort of do the Hawkeye Athos thing, where you're inserting a character at a certain level, and it has to be appropriate for the enemies it's going to take on. Otherwise, it just doesn't fly. Good old guy. You're doing a good job, buddy.